So there are several units that you have to take. We call it a core unit, including the project management, the information and computer security, which is the foundation of all other security units. And this also the IT research methods that allows you to further to study PhD or maybe give you a very good training as a manager later on, maybe. And also, we have the same structure as molecular data science, that is you can choose either the minor thesis pathway or the industry experience. So Lan has already mentioned about the IE industry experience. So here I use the minor thesis as an example. So if you want to study PhD or maybe you have interest to do research, this is a good way for you to choose the minor thesis. And there are some requirements. The requirement is you have to get 75 points out of 100 for the average for 4 level 5 FIT units. So in your second semester, you are going to take 4 FIT unit 5 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the average should be 75 or above in order to enroll in the minor thesis. Otherwise, you're not allowed to take this part. So suppose you have chosen the minor thesis, and there are some units that you have chosen, including the minor thesis part 1, which has to be taken in your second year first semester. So different from the IE. In the IE stream, you can take the IE, you are only allowed to take the IE capstone units in the last semester. But if you choose a minor thesis, you have to take the first part in your first semester of your last year, of the second year. And then, maybe can you maybe go back to the previous one? Yeah. So, and also, what else are the units you can choose? If you choose a minor thesis, because you still have to choose some other cybersecurity core unit, but we provide a flexibility for you. It's the last one, the FIT level 5 elective. So you can choose any other FIT level 5 unit. For example, if you have interest to take maybe one unit from data science, it's up to you. You can choose that. So this is the flexibility that we provide to you if you take the minor thesis. On the other side, if you interested to take the industry experience pathway, you have to finish a software engineering unit. And you have to finish it in your first semester in order to go to the IE pathway. But if you have interest in the minor thesis, we provide more flexibility. You can choose either software engineering or other core security unit or any other level 5 FIT elective. The duration is the same as Master of Data Science. 2 years if you don't have any IT background, or if you have a bachelor degree of computer science or related, you can shorten the time to 1.5 years. It is also the same as the Master of Data Science. So I pass the time to Daniel about the AI program.
Hi, yes. So I'm Daniel. I'm the course director for my new Masters of AI at Monash. So I guess it's good to start with maybe saying, what is artificial intelligence? I'm sure you've all heard buzzwords floating around. Well, artificial intelligence is about building systems or creating systems that appear intelligent or emulate what we would consider to be human intelligence. And you will have already interacted with a large number of systems that are building on this exciting new technology. So for example, you would have dealt with speech recognizers. If you've run, say, Telstra or other large companies, they use automatic speech recognizers. You will have seen face recognition systems at airports. But beyond that, there's a lot of even more applications than this. Medical diagnosis is one of the most exciting areas. Self-driving cars, the whole field of robotics. So there's a huge demand out there at the moment for artificial intelligence methods, becoming more and more popular. And that's one of the reasons that we introduced this Master of AI, specifically because this is an area that is fast growing, high demand amongst both large corporations, and small startups. The whole gambit, the whole spectrum, artificial intelligence is sought after by a huge number of employers. Our particular course, well, we're the only group of 8 member that currently offers a Master of Artificial Intelligence. So we place quite a high emphasis of importance on this emerging technology. And one of the reasons is that, well, we have a large number of excellent world-class artificial intelligence researchers amongst the group. So Lan alluded previously to the size of our data science and AI group. We have a number of people who are recognized as world leaders in artificial intelligence, particularly image, vision, optimization, and deep learning. The particular degree is slightly different than the other two in terms of its design and pitch. So at its base, it's a 1.5-year master's without foundation, but there is a 1-year fast-track master's version as well. We'll cover the entries and the differences in a moment. So the core units within the MAI, machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, and human-centric AI. So basic core AI techniques that are being repeatedly applied to a whole number of domains in the world at the moment. So in terms of entry requirements, for the 1.5-year degree version, you would have an undergraduate degree in a cognate discipline relating to IT, or an engineering or science degree with an IT major that includes sufficient programming, databases, and mathematics. And you will have achieved a 65% average. The 1-year version, you will hold a cognate 4-year undergrad honors degree in a recognized discipline, cognate to artificial intelligence or equivalent, with 65% average. So essentially, if you have a 4-year honors style degree, then you can enter in a 1-year degree. If you do not, you enter through the 1.5-year degree. A key difference between the MAI and the previous two, the Master of Data Science and the Master of Cybersecurity, is that there are no foundation units within the MAI. So if we have a look at an outline of the type of content that you would cover within the MAI, we see that there are 3 general classes of units. So we have our core units, which everyone will do. So fundamentals of AI, statistical data modeling, and research methods. And then we have a selection of up to 5 AI electives. Excuse me. So we have flagship type units like machine learning, deep learning, discrete optimization problems, natural language processing, human-centric AI, video analysis, planning and automated reasoning, the sort of building blocks of AI technology, and the sort of things that employers would be looking for in prospective employees to be able to apply to their specific domain problems. We also have an advanced practice segment. So if you enter in the 1.5-year degree version, you will complete either a minor thesis or minor research thesis, or you will do industry experience plus 1 elective in either stream. And to undertake the minor research thesis in a similar fashion to the MDS and Master of Cybersecurity, you need to achieve a 75 average in your first semester, in the 4 units that you take in your first semester. Here again, because it's slightly different than the previous 2 degrees, we've re-summarized the entry requirements and the length. So again, the 1.5-year version, you have a cognate discipline relating to IT, or an engineering science degree with this IT major component and a 65% average, and you'll enter at the 1.5-year program. Or the 1-year accelerated program essentially recognizes if you've done a 4-year honors degree, which would generally include a honors or research project already completed, and you still have, of course, a 65% average or higher. and then you can enter at the 1-year accelerated degree.
Thanks, Daniel. And before you put yourself on mute, I just had a question from one of our audience, if I could maybe see if you can help me out. We've had someone ask if the exams are written exams for these units that we're talking about.
That depends on the particular units and how things are working out with COVID and a whole bunch of other aspects. So some units still have written exams if they have a large amount or more focus on mathematics. Other units have online exams, but I believe last semester, I didn't teach last semester, but I believe the last semester all exams were or will be online. The current semester, a little bit out of sync with the teaching.
Yeah, or is it, are there assessment-based, assignment-based assessments also?
Yes, I mean, it depends on the particular unit, but in general, the units are a mixture of assignment-based work, which allows the student to put into practice the theory, plus exam assessment is the standard model.
Okay, thanks, Daniel. So before we move on, we'll have a bit of a chat to Ash in a moment about her experience at Monash. If you've got any questions specifically about any of the particular courses we're talking about, feel free to send them through the chat session, and we'll leave some time at the very end for people to ask questions. So Ashley, we'll get this video going first, I think, and then we'll have a chat.
This event is a celebration for the students because they are just finishing their masters. It's their very last unit. They've spent the last 10 weeks working with industry mentors, so they have had lots of experience of what it will be like in the workforce.
It was an amazing experience. Working with the industry mentors Zenix Venture, I get to learn about the team management, conflict resolution, project management, and mainly the cultural communication.
This program is really important because what it does is enable students to take their theoretical knowledge they've gained over their degree and postgraduate studies and apply that in a real-world situation so that they're better prepared for a career in industry and commerce.
Well, we were really fortunate to get mentored by MYOB, and they gave us some really good advice and some leadership. And it's not just the positive advice and support that they give us, but also questioning everything that we're doing and making sure that we're staying on our toes and making sure we're delivering the best product possible.
It's great for them to be challenged. A lot of them have great skills, but it's very academic, and it's good for the industry mentors to really give them a pragmatic perspective on the problems that they're trying to address, the way they're trying to address them, and really challenge the way they think about who they're building a system for.
Over the 10-week period, they basically are almost put in a pressure cooker of a real-world work experience. They need to understand how to meet deadlines. They need to understand, and they're in a situation where they have to work together under pressure. They need to resolve conflict, and they also need to make sure that what they're developing and getting out to the market is something that people want to use. All of those skills, even all the years in my years of employment, I still refine and go through those each and every day. So the program actually is almost a microcosm of what it will be like when you're working in a job at any company across Australia.
That's just a bit of insight to show you what some of the work is and what the experience is for our students in the industry experience units that occur towards the end of your degree. But right now I wanted to introduce you to Ash. Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, I'm well. How are you going with study at the moment? Maybe just talk to us briefly about how you're coping with the environment.
Of course, yes. So the whole semester has been online. Initially, it was a bit, I would say, tedious because there's a huge change. We didn't know exactly how to go through about with tutorials, how to do our assessments and everything. But the faculty had been so supportive that all the assessments and every tutorial and lectures were accommodated to the online mode. So we would be able to watch the tutorials. We can join in just the same way that we did, except for on campus, it would be in the comfort of our own homes. All the assessments were changed. And even because initially we had a few, what I would say would be coping up periods. So even a faculty was lenient enough to give us quite a big amount of time and extensions for assessments to complete that. Even now, as you said, the exams have shifted to online. So I think by the end of the semester, I feel pretty comfortable. In fact, maybe next semester I'll be lazy enough to get out of the house and go on campus to attend, because I'm getting used to this online thing.
I
But
think we
of
all
course,
are
I
to a
would
certain
also,
degree.
yeah, but I would also miss the on-campus experience. I mean, that's a different thing, but yeah. But overall, it's been now. I have gotten used to it, and it's going just as it would be on an on-campus semester.
So in relation to the on-campus experience that you mentioned there, outside of classroom and things like that, what other things have you been involved in or had opportunity to get engaged in?
Yep. So my first semester, I was just getting used to all the units and stuff. But the most important thing is I made a good network with my tutors and my lecturers, and that's why after the end of first semester, I was grateful, good enough that I've got offered the past leader role. It's a peer-assisted study session role where I am someone as a tutor or mentor in between somewhere, where I help students to do better in that particular unit. That was just for one semester, and then again I was offered again depending upon my experience and how I performed. And also I got offered a student engagement opportunity as a student administrative officer with Faculty of IT student engagement, on the basis of how well I interacted with students, how I was during all the volunteering sessions with not just student engagement, but with other students, student clubs and societies. So I would say that Monash, just not by improving my technical skills, it has improved my social skills, communication skills, and all the soft skills that are also required in the industry by bounds and leaps. So I think that was something that'll always be something I've gained from Monash, and not just something that I'm learning and doing my degree, but this experience has counted a lot.
Oh, excellent. And would I be right in saying that you're currently participating in the industry experience?
No, I'm in this third semester. The next semester would be where I will participate in the industry experience project.
Okay. And so you're doing, why did you choose your particular master's?
Yeah, so I completed my bachelor's in computer engineering. It's mostly software oriented. Then for 2 years, I was working initially as a front-end developer and then as a database analyst. And that is where I I realized that data is something I want my career to be in. And then I researched a lot about Australian universities, and Monash's course extremely appealed to me. Not just the course, but also the academia. Because initially I was with the mindset that I would go for theses, but then my plans changed. But I think the data science course that has been offered is amazing. I mean, like Lance said that we have been given modeling opportunities. Now ADA has Kaggle competitions, and there's so many other electives that I can choose from. So I think my decision of taking data science, especially in Monash, has proved very fruitful.
Oh, excellent. Well, thank you. And if you just will stay online, because there's a few questions that I've seen come through.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just trying to see if they relate necessarily to yourself, or maybe I've probably actually got a
I
question.
think maybe there would be some students who are asking if there's job opportunities at the university for students. I
Okay.
would like to address if that's been asked, or definitely there are, especially there are some roles where the university specifically enrolls only students, like I said, for engagement roles or for past leader roles, or there are many other roles that are paid opportunities and only students can take apply for those. So there definitely are many opportunities at Monash for students.